What if the law of attraction, your spiritual quest and all your personal development were not separate paths, but the same road seen from three different angles? What if the constant search for the next technique, the next book, the next guru was based on a fundamental misunderstanding? You have been led to believe these are distinct disciplines, each with its own set of rules, forcing you to be a juggler of conflicting philosophies. You try to visualize with the faith of a mystic, then hustle with the grit of an entrepreneur, then meditate with the stillness of a monk. This separation is the very architecture of frustration, designed to keep you seeking, but never truly finding. It is the illusion that your spiritual self and your material ambitions are at odds, when in truth, they are two wings of the same eagle, designed to fly in perfect harmony. The great secret is that Napoleon Hill did not discover a new law of success. His true genius was not in invention, but in revelation. He acted as a master cartographer of the human spirit, charting the landscape of achievement with unparalleled precision. He drew the definitive map that unites these three seemingly disparate worlds: the world of spirit, the world of mind, and the world of action. This map shows how the energy of a desire, born in the soul, is focused by the mind and then materialized into reality through deliberate, consistent effort. For decades, this unified field theory of success has remained encoded within his texts, accessible only to those who looked past the individual tactics and saw the elegant underlying system that connects everything, the system that turns scattered knowledge into directed power. And in the next few minutes, I will place this very map into your hands. This is not a promise of another piece of information to add to your collection. It is a promise of integration, a promise to provide the framework that will finally allow you to assemble all the powerful pieces of wisdom you have already gathered. We will not be adding more to your intellectual burden. We will be building the structure that makes sense of it all. By the end of our time together, the confusion will dissipate, replaced by a profound and unshakable clarity. You will see the direct, unbroken line that connects your deepest purpose to your daily reality. This is the moment where the seeking stops and the creating begins. Let us speak of the reality of your search. Picture the shelf in your home, a silent testament to your dedication. It holds books with worn spines on the laws of vibration, emotional intelligence, ancient wisdom, and modern neuroscience. Your digital world mirrors this, with folders of saved videos and podcasts promising the definitive key to unlocking your potential. You are not a casual observer. You are a devoted scholar of personal transformation. You have invested more time, energy, and hope into your own growth than most people would ever dare. You have done the work, you have studied the material, and yet there is a profound disconnect between the vastness of your knowledge and the tangible results you experience in your daily life. This is the quiet ache of the sincere seeker. This condition has a name: intellectual obesity. Your mind is saturated with powerful, life-altering concepts. You can speak eloquently about vibrational frequencies, the power of the subconscious, and the importance of a defined purpose. But this knowledge often feels like a beautiful collection of abstract truths, stored in your head but not yet integrated into the cells of your being. It's the frustrating paradox of knowing, intellectually, that you are the architect of your reality, while simultaneously feeling like a spectator to a life that unfolds without your consent. It is the exhaustion that comes from holding a library of answers within you, yet still being haunted by the same old questions when the lights go out at night. Think of the rituals you have so faithfully practiced, the early mornings dedicated to meditation, where the silence you seek is often drowned out by the noise of your own anxieties. You have looked in the mirror and recited affirmations, trying to command your subconscious to believe in an abundance your senses cannot yet confirm. You have filled journals with gratitude for what you have, while a persistent feeling of not enoughness lurks just beneath the surface. You have visualized a future of freedom and success with the intensity of an artist, only to open your eyes to the familiar walls of your current circumstances. Your commitment is not in question. Your discipline is evident. The sincerity of your effort is beyond doubt. And still, you know that heavy weight in your chest when the end of the month approaches. You understand the unique frustration of trying to hold a vibration of wealth while staring at a bank statement that tells a story of lack. It is a lonely battle, fought in the silent spaces of your own mind. This isn't just about a desire for luxury. It is about the deep, soul-level yearning for security, for freedom, for the simple peace of mind that comes from knowing you have the resources to care for yourself and your loved ones. You have been told to feel abundant, but the world keeps presenting you with evidence to the contrary, creating a dissonance that drains your spiritual energy. This struggle extends far beyond finances. It is about the nagging sense that the great puzzle of your life remains unsolved. You have all these pieces: your spiritual beliefs, your career ambitions, your personal relationships, your desire for health and vitality, but they lie scattered on the table, refusing to connect into a single, cohesive masterpiece. You feel you are living multiple lives at once: the spiritual seeker, the professional, the partner, the parent. And the energy required to manage these separate identities is immense, leaving you feeling fragmented and perpetually tired. You yearn for alignment, for the day when your actions, your beliefs, and your desires all sing the same song, creating a symphony of purpose instead of a cacophony of obligations. Do you recognize that quiet frustration that settles in during the mundane moments of the day, that silent sigh when you realize another week has passed, filled with activity, but lacking meaningful progress toward your grandest vision? Have you ever felt that flicker of doubt, that insidious whisper that says, "I've tried everything. Maybe this entire philosophy of manifestation is a fantasy. Maybe it works for others, but not for me"? This voice is not your enemy. It is a symptom of exhaustion. It is the cry of a soul that is tired of running on a hamster wheel of self-improvement, endlessly spinning but never moving forward. It's the logical response to applying immense effort without a proper framework for success. This cycle of hope and disillusionment carries a heavy emotional toll. A new concept ignites a fire of possibility within you, and for a few days or weeks, you feel an invigorating surge of motivation. You commit to the new practice with renewed vigor, certain that this time will be different. But when the initial excitement fades and the familiar challenges of life resurface, the old patterns re-emerge. The momentum slows, and the results fail to materialize. Each time this happens, a small layer of cynicism is added to your worldview, making it a little bit harder to fully believe the next time. This is the true source of your exhaustion. It is not the struggle itself, but the weariness of a battle you feel you are slowly losing. But what if I told you that this fatigue, this frustration, and this feeling of being stuck are not indicators of your failure? They are, in fact, the predictable outcomes of a fundamentally flawed model. You have been navigating with an incomplete map. You have been given the most powerful components of a vehicle for creation: the engine of desire, the fuel of emotion, the chassis of action, but no one has ever given you the schematic to show how they all fit together. Your exhaustion is justified. It is the noble exhaustion of someone who has tried with all their heart to build a masterpiece without the proper instructions, and it is that set of instructions that is about to be revealed. The source of this widespread frustration, this epidemic of intellectual obesity, is not a mystery. It is the direct result of a flawed paradigm that has dominated the world of self-development for decades. The enemy we must identify is not a lack of effort on your part, nor a deficiency in your character. The true enemy is the fragmentation of knowledge. You have been taught to approach your own evolution in pieces. You have been told that you can practice the law of attraction in one corner of your life, focusing solely on feelings and vibrations, while your career and practical planning exist in another. You have been encouraged to pursue personal development through discipline and habit building, often at the expense of your spiritual and emotional well-being. This segregation is the great lie that keeps you stuck. Think of it this way: they have delivered to your doorstep the finest, most high-performance parts of an automobile engine. They gave you the powerful pistons of desire, the gleaming crankshaft of specialized knowledge, and the high-voltage ignition system of positive affirmations. Each component is a marvel of engineering capable of immense power, but they never gave you the schematic. They never showed you how to assemble it. So you sit there with a garage full of brilliant parts, wondering why the car of your life will not move from its spot. You try to use the law of attraction without a plan of action, which is like trying to sail a magnificent ship with a glorious sail but no rudder to steer it. It's all potential with no direction. This is why the old model of hustle harder or just think positive is so profoundly incomplete. It positions these concepts as opposing forces when they are meant to be a unified flow of energy. The path of pure effort, devoid of spiritual alignment, leads to burnout and hollow victories. The path of pure belief, devoid of organized action, leads to wishful thinking and perpetual waiting. The great revelation, the transition from struggle to grace, comes when you stop seeing these as separate paths and recognize them as a single, integrated highway to achievement. The journey to prosperity is not about choosing between being a spiritual dreamer or a pragmatic doer. It is about becoming the master architect who seamlessly blends the blueprint of desire with the materials of action. So where do we find the schematic, the assembly manual for the engine of our lives? It has been waiting patiently for us, hidden in plain sight, within a work many have read, but few have truly understood. The great synthesis of these divided worlds was codified over 80 years ago by a man who was not a mystic or a guru, but a meticulous investigator of results. Napoleon Hill, through his legendary work, Think and Grow Rich, did not offer a mere collection of motivational ideas. He presented a complete, flawlessly engineered system. He was a master codifier of universal laws, an engineer of the human mind, who dedicated 2 decades of his life to a single mission, to map the fundamental architecture of achievement so that anyone, regardless of their station in life, could replicate it. What Hill uncovered was not a list of habits or a series of positive affirmations. He revealed something far more profound, the 3 indispensable pillars that form the very foundation of all conscious creation. These are not separate techniques to be tried and discarded. They are an interdependent, unbreakable trinity. When they stand together, they create a conduit through which the formless energy of desire can flow and crystallize into material form. This is the system that unites the heavens and the earth. It bridges the gap between the unseen world of your thoughts and feelings and the seen world of your results. This is not a theory. It is the very physics of accomplishment, the timeless structure that allows a human being to align their inner world with the immutable laws of the universe to produce predictable, tangible outcomes. These 3 pillars are the antidote to the fragmentation that has caused your exhaustion. They are the unifying framework that reconnects your spiritual quest, your emotional intelligence, and your personal development into a single, powerful current. The first pillar provides the spiritual targeting system for your life. The second pillar generates the emotional fuel required for the journey. And the third pillar builds the physical vessel that will carry you to your destination. Together, they form the sacred tripod upon which the camera of your mind can finally focus, bringing your vision from a blurry dream into a high-definition reality. Forget everything you thought you knew. We are now about to assemble the machine. This is the turning point. This is the revelation you have been waiting for. We now arrive at the heart of the matter, the decoding of the 3 great pillars that form the architecture of all achievement. This is where we transform abstract philosophy into a concrete operational system. We begin with the foundation upon which everything else is built, the pillar that gives direction and meaning to all your efforts. Pillar 1, the definite purpose. This is the soul of your spirituality and your desire. This is the what. The first principle in Hill's entire philosophy, the starting point of all riches, is not hard work, not positivity, not even belief. It is the crystallization of your desires into a single, definite, burning purpose. A vague hope to have more money or to be happy is like a prayer whispered into a hurricane. It has no direction and no power. It is energetically impotent. The universe, like a master archer, can only hit a target that is clearly defined and held steady. To declare a definite purpose is to give the infinite intelligence of the cosmos a precise set of coordinates to work with. It is the most fundamental act of co-creation, to choose with clarity what you intend to manifest. The secret behind this principle is that a definite purpose is far more than a simple goal. It is a powerful command to your own subconscious mind. When you define exactly what you want, you're giving your deeper mind its primary directive. This activates a part of your brain known as the reticular activating system, which begins to filter your reality, causing you to notice people, ideas, and opportunities that were previously invisible to you. A burning desire is not a childish wish. It is a spiritual decree that realigns your perception of the world. It transforms you from a passive passenger in your life into a seeker, programmed to find the very thing you're looking for. Think of your desire as sunlight. Spread out over a wide area, the sun's rays provide a gentle warmth, but they lack the power to create significant change. This is the state of a person with many vague, scattered wishes. A definite, burning desire, however, is the act of focusing all that light through a magnifying glass onto one single point. Suddenly, that gentle warmth becomes a concentrated beam of energy, so powerful it can ignite a fire. Your definite purpose is that focal point. It is where you concentrate all your mental and spiritual energy until the fire of creation begins. You must stop scattering your power and learn to focus it with this laser-like precision. So, let us translate this into a mental action you can take today. I want you to find a quiet space, close your eyes and ask your deepest self this question. What is the one single objective that, if I were to achieve it, would cause the greatest positive transformation in my life and render most of my other problems obsolete? Do not create a list. Search for the keystone, the one great desire that, once fulfilled, will cause all the other pieces of your life to fall into place. Is it achieving a specific monthly income that grants you total freedom? Is it the successful launch of a business that embodies your life's passion. Be mercilessly specific. Once you have identified this major desire, your task is to take it out of the ethereal realm of thought and give it its first taste of physical form. Write it down. Use a pen and paper. Describe it in a clear, concise statement, written in the present tense, as if it were already a fact. For example, I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning $20,000 per month, serving the world through my coaching business. This written statement is not a mere reminder. It is a contract with your subconscious mind. It is your official declaration to the universe. This is the bedrock. This is your what. Pillar 2, applied faith. This is the heart of your emotional intelligence and the law of attraction. This is how it feels. With your target clearly defined, we now erect the second pillar, which gives your purpose its magnetic, attractive power. This is the pillar of applied faith. In the language of Napoleon Hill, faith is not a form of passive hope or a religious belief in an external deity. It is a highly cultivated state of mind. It is the emotional intelligence to sustain the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. It is the absolute conviction that the moment you impressed your desire upon the universe, its physical manifestation was guaranteed. This is not about hoping for a result. It is about living from the end result, emotionally and vibrationally, long before it appears in your physical reality. The secret of applied faith lies in a profound understanding of the subconscious mind. Your subconscious accepts any order given to it in a state of absolute belief and acts upon that order. It does not distinguish between a physical experience and a vividly imagined, emotionally charged experience. Therefore, the technique of autosuggestion, feeding the subconscious with declarations of your success, is the tool you use to build unwavering faith. You are systematically overwriting the old programming of doubt and lack with a new program of certainty and abundance. The feeling of certainty is the prayer that is always answered. You are not asking for your desire. You are emotionally accepting it as a done deal. The metaphor for this pillar is that of a radio tuner. Imagine that the reality you desire is a specific radio station, broadcasting a clear signal on a precise frequency. The problem is that most people's minds are tuned to the static of their current problems, their past failures, and their future anxieties. Their internal receiver is a mess of conflicting signals. Applied faith is the conscious, deliberate act of turning the dial of your emotional state. You tune out the frequency of fear and lock onto the frequency of gratitude, certainty, and accomplishment. When you can hold that frequency consistently, the broadcast of your desired reality has no choice but to come through loud and clear in your life experience. The practical application of this is a technique we will call emotional impregnation. Twice a day, find a quiet place to review your written statement of desire. But do not simply read the words. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what would be the dominant feeling if this were already true? Would it be the profound calm of relief, the exhilarating freedom of financial independence, the deep satisfaction of purpose-driven work? Identify that core emotion. Now generate that feeling in your body. Breathe it into your heart. Let it saturate every cell of your being. Do this for 5 minutes, making the feeling, not the picture, the object of your focus. This practice is the work. This is the active component of the law of attraction. You are training your body to become emotionally accustomed to your new reality. You are learning to generate and maintain the vibrational state that is a perfect match for your desire, independent of your external circumstances. This is how it feels. This is the pillar that breathes life into your blueprint. A desire without this emotional charge is a powerless sketch. A desire impregnated with the unwavering feeling of its own reality becomes an irresistible magnetic force, pulling the people, resources, and circumstances you need into your orbit. Pillar 3, the organized plan. This is the body of your personal development and action. This is how it is done. We have established the what, your definite purpose. We have cultivated the how it feels, your applied faith. Now we must build the third and final pillar, the bridge that connects the unseen world of your inner creation to the seen world of material reality. This is the pillar of the organized plan. This is where your spiritual vision and your emotional energy are channeled into grounded, practical, and consistent action. A desire, no matter how burning, and a faith, no matter how unshakable, without a plan of action, will remain a beautiful but powerless dream. Hill was adamant. A dream without a plan is merely a hallucination. The secret here is one that liberates so many from the paralysis of perfectionism. The purpose of the organized plan is not to be a perfect, flawless, step-by-step guide from beginning to end. Such a thing is impossible, as the future is dynamic. The true purpose of the plan is to initiate and sustain forward momentum. It is a starting point for action. As you begin to act on your best-laid plan, you will receive feedback from the universe. New, more efficient paths will reveal themselves, unexpected allies will appear. The key is perseverance, the willingness to stick to your purpose while remaining flexible in your approach, constantly adjusting your plan based on the results you are getting. Let us expand upon our metaphor of the ship. Your burning desire and applied faith are the magnificent sails catching the powerful winds of the universe. They provide the thrust, the energy, the momentum. But that power is useless, even dangerous, without a rudder. The organized plan is the rudder of your ship. Your daily actions are your hand on the wheel, making small, constant adjustments. Without this steering mechanism, the powerful winds of your faith and desire will simply blow you aimlessly across the ocean of life. But with a plan, you can direct all of that immense power toward the specific port of call you identified in Pillar 1. Action is what gives direction to your energy. Therefore, the mental action required here is to transform your grand desire into a system of daily execution. Look at your written statement. Now ask yourself this powerful question. What is the one core habit that, if I performed it with consistency every single day, would inevitably lead me to the fulfillment of my desire? It does not need to be a monumental task. It needs to be a consistent one. Is it dedicating 1 hour of focused, uninterrupted work to your business before anyone else wakes up? Is it making 5 strategic outreach calls each day? Is it writing 500 words of your book? Identify this keystone habit. Your final task is to build your life around the execution of this plan. This is the pillar of how it is done. This is the domain of personal development, of discipline, of turning your intentions into achievements. This is where you ground your spirituality in reality. The act of organized daily action is the ultimate statement of faith. It tells the universe that you are not merely a passive wisher, but an active co-creator, willing to do your part to shape the clay of circumstance into the masterpiece you envision. With these 3 pillars standing strong and in perfect alignment, a clear purpose, a felt faith, and an organized plan of daily action, you have now moved from hoping for success to systematically engineering it. You have assembled the machine.